It's time to wake up and smell the coffee. You are joined by Diana Master and Glenora Shipura on a beautiful Saturday morning. We do hope you're having yourselves an amazing, fantastic time in your bed.
And that you're resting.
That you're resting. And you're having, of course, your cup of joe. You definitely need to grab that because we do have an amazing show in store for you today. All you need to do is grab your cup of joe, sit back, relax, and enjoy while your two favorite girlies keep you entertained with the latest in Namibia. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Do you know what I found out recently? And I was just so baffled by it. I'm like, so this is actually a fact. Apparently, 90 minutes before, after you wake up, you shouldn't drink coffee. You know what I'm saying? You should drink it. I'm like, but how do I wake up?
So why do they say that?
I think it's so that your body can naturally wake itself up because caffeine, whatever it boosts, whatever it is to keep you awake. So you need to have that natural ability to, wake up. But I'm like, I've been, like, you know what I'm saying? I just felt so like, that's the first thing I look forward to when I wake up.
Really?
Like
the first thing?
Coffee. I don't have that as the first thing. I do have like lukewarm water.
Okay.
With
a lemon.
With a lemon,
yeah.
Yes. Just
yeah,
like
that's always great.
Just like as a cup, whatever you throw
I drink green tea.
Yeah, I've seen you do that. Yeah. So I'm just like, should I maybe start doing that before I jump to coffee?
Yeah.
I have something before for the 90 minutes.
I realize now, for some reason, because there was a time I was caffeine intolerant, and then I think I outgrew it or whatever, but then now I feel like it's coming back because every time I drink coffee, because remember I told you I don't drink Greek coffee and whatever because I get sick, and so I only drink Jacobs and Nescafe Alterica, but then now the problem is, even those now are starting to make me sick, but not sick in the way Greek coffee and the other ones make me sick because those make me feel nauseated. But with Nescafe Alterica now and Jacobs, I literally just get a terrible stomachache. I'm like, no, I can't be gluten intolerant.
I think you need to start like doing, the coffee, get the coffee machine, get the beans.
No, but even then, I feel like just the caffeine is what makes me sick. Like I get
it's nothing to do with the brand or whatever you're drinking.
No. I feel like now it's just I get a terrible stomachache. And at first I was trying to ignore it. I was like, no,
it can't be coffee.
No. And then the one time I just had the coffee and I got like literally, this is TMI now, like diarrhea, and I'm like, whoa. Yeah. And then once you start reading up more about it, you realize, okay, these are actually signs of caffeine intolerance, like your body not being able to take caffeine. I'm like, first of all, I already can't take gluten.
Like what you want me to take.
And now I'm allergic to seafood. Now I must...
Okay, we did have sushi the other day, and I also realized, like, I think I have a little bit of like an allergic reaction, but it's not that deep. But it was just like a
scratchy.
Yeah,
yeah. That's me. My seafood allergy is not like a.
It's not that deep.
It's not a deadly allergy.
I'll
right?
still eat it. Yeah.
The other time I had oysters. And so like 30 minutes later, I'm like, yeah, so like as I was saying, I'm like, I wonder why I'm itching.
You didn't realize.
Oh, it's the seafood.
But I'm not a seafood girly, to be fair. Like even with sushi, I didn't like it for the longest time because it's just like, what is this? And then one person introduced me to like the school restaurant and they were like, oh, this is actually really nice. So it depends on where it's made.
And
you
also
know that it's nice.
There's different types of sushi. People think sushi is literally just raw fish. You do get like the deep fried sushi. You get there's different types of sushi.
So there's different types, and like I said, like I'm just now opening up my world to that, like the different types and what. And I'm like, okay, this I like, this not so much. You know what I'm saying?
It's the same with me. Being like growing up and being told you're allergic to seafood, you can't eat seafood. You kind of like just outlive. Like I don't know. You just don't crave it. It's just like, okay, I'm not allowed to eat seafood, so I won't. And you never really crave it. But we will now be taking a quick ad break. And after the break, not after the show, we'll be returning with an interesting interview. So stay tuned.
our correspondent in the North, Nicanor, talks to residents about a project creating a safe space for all. Let's take a look.
Yes, my name is Ladislas Shikerete, and I'm a landscaper for this town, Rondo. So basically, what have happened since I joined, that this place was proclaimed as a park, a recreational place for children and everybody, community members, to come and sit in and have some activities. But due to lack of resources, limited funding, so the municipality have been struggling to develop this place to its full potential. But now lately you can see that there's some small development that are going on. So the whole concept is to make sure this place becomes comfortable and it's being used to the maximum by everybody in town.
Okay. Can you just tell us a bit about what people can find here at the park?
Okay. Yes. So if you can able to see how the entrance is looking, it's looking very beautiful. So when you come in the park, what at the current moment what you can find in the park is that you're able to find benches where you can able to sit. There are also swings for the children. Let me say the jungle gym for the children, and we're also looking forward to put in other activities for everybody, so that once you are here, you get to use the park to its full potential.
So what is the park? What do you guys have planned for the park? Like, say 5 years from now, how do you envision it looking?
Yeah, the way we've planned based on the master plan that was designed for the park. So what is going to happen here is at the back we are going to put volleyball court, netball court, and then we're also going to put in an area where the kids are also going to play soccer. And then the other thing is also we are going to put some water fountains here, just to make sure that when you come in you feel that welcoming. And then we are also going to put a restaurant in the park where you can buy some snacks if you are here. So our toilets are also 90% complete. Anytime soon we'll finish the plumbing. And then we're also going to put something in the corner. We'll call it karaoke corner, where the children can come and also to start learning how to sing and stuff like that. So we are looking forward to make sure that the place caters for everybody activities. So we'll also put in some braai stands. We'll put in some braaiing area where people can come with their meat. We'll putting firewood here as well, so that everybody is welcome. And lastly as well, like if you see now the activities that are happening with the AFCON, if the park was to 100% complete, we could televise here and people can come and gather here. So we want to make sure the place is safe for everybody.
Okay. Speaking about safety, is the place, would you say, like, safe for the community members?
Yeah. So I would say currently as we speak now, there are security guards based in the park that make sure that some activities are really looked after. And by the way, a park normally is supposed to be a place where anyone can enter free at any point. But now we just make sure we cordon so that there must be a little bit of safety and a little bit of control. But otherwise, I'll assure you, students who comes from schools, learners, they're always here in the afternoon. They're doing their homework. There are those ones who are also doing distance. They come here, they do their assignments. So the place is really safe for everybody.
Okay, thank you.
I often come 3 or twice a week at the park. It's actually a free place where you can free your mind, where there's no noise like at home. Then whereby you just get your free time here, like, because at home there's a different story there.
Yeah.
Kids disturbing your peace, parents.
Yeah.
Like when you mostly feel like you don't want to be with someone else or being disturbed, you come here. But like previous year I used to come here, like when I was studying for my learner. I come and sit here, I study. Yeah, after studying, if you have something, like you have cash, you just go somewhere, you get something, you come back and sit here.
Hello, Namapia! Ons is by die kus en ons is lit.
Terwyl by die Easter shot.
Okay. Okay, so
Yes. Please, today you make sure that we are fed. Sorry,
In our Talk of the Town segment, a relative of Dr. Hage Geingob, Aline Sandi, says that his death touched her very much. She adds that the news of his death is shocking and that the family, especially the children, will miss him dearly. Let's take a look at this video, courtesy of Limba Mupetami.
Sarudin unzalu nebada uchi.
Ding onskem Elin Fanigia Chandis. So Hagep gave the bab Fanigia Chandi. Okay.
Chutuke saro matis hagepa.
Hagep Kinsati Anga. Elek ya Jagamika.
Hata do mami maji turangisi hagepa ondo matisor ko
Okay. Kaise ke chora I koi wangam. Hap kro ngama mata. Si aldi corona ngam ka tapete ngadi. Kaise ke frindele ke chora ka bong yauki. Chicken se ngani se. Nida Moscow se kisi kabra chanka chuse. When kaise ke king hai rare chida ya diong o habi. Poi chita chinga digin eko.
So nizine is a family say maditura.
Well, those were the words of Dr. Hage Geingob's relative, Aline Sandi, and she was basically just speaking about how much the children will miss him, like I briefly highlighted, and that she is praying for the family. We do apologize that there were no...
And it is a huge loss as well.
We do apologize that there were no subtitles on the video, but that is just the gist of what she was saying.
Now moving on to our next interview. Ogeda Greg talks to John Cisse, a veteran in the mining industry, about his forecast for the year. Let's take a look.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Delve Deep Namibia. My name is Ogito Greg, and today I have the honor and privilege of picking the brain of Mr. John Cisse, who is a veteran and very experienced with Namibian mining. Good day, Mr. Cisse. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background.
Good morning, and thank you for allowing me this interview. My name is John Cisse, as you said. Been in the mining space for about 30 years. I moved to Namibia about 5 years ago when we acquired a company called Ongopolo, and have been spending our time since then restructuring the company, expanding the resource base of the company, and seeing how we can restart those old traditional mines. The Chudi mine near Sumip in the north. You've got the Ochihazi mine just near Windhoek here, the underground mine. These are all copper mines. And we also own the Berg Arcus zinc and lead mine. So our job basically has been trying to expand the resources, getting the right friends together and getting the right team so we can reopen those mines to benefit the Namibian economy and start doing real copper volume out of Namibia.
Thank you, Mr. Cisse, and I must say we're all holding our breath and hoping for your success. Could you give us an update to which of those mines looks like they might be able to get back into operation soon?
Well, the primary one that we focused on has been the Chudi mine in the north. When we took over the mine, it had about just under a 3-year mine life. So we did some more extensive drilling, and we're looking at a mine life north of 8 years, possibly more. But in the interim, what we've planned to do, whilst we continue the studies, we're in the process of recruiting mining contractors and employing the right staff. We hope that we will, by mid-year, we'll start producing copper out of Chudi. In the meantime, we're also carrying out studies to start the Ochihazi underground mines, both at Matchless and Uchihaji, and our goal is that by the end of the year, we'll start producing copper there as well.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
In our sports segment today, we take a look at the world of MMA.
In terms of I think it's the 6th edition of the African Championships, but that's part of the development within Africa to obviously develop the amateur side of the sport in terms of the athletes coming from Africa. That ultimately it's part of the development program that leads into the World Championships. That we've got our 10th World Championships, which will be in Uzbekistan. So we've been around a little bit, not as long as the core sports such as judo, karate, boxing. They've been in 60 years plus.
But did you select Namibia, or how did Namibia get to host the champs?
So we when we have our events in continental structures, we obviously engage with our federations, and we have about 20 national federations within Africa. And obviously we've set up the African Federation in terms of representing as part of the continental structure. So part of that development is looking at federations or countries that can host the event, and it's part of understanding the country, the federation, and building so they can eventually put on a World Championships. Ultimately, we want to move the world around, so it kind of doesn't just stick in one place. It kind of gives a little bit of fairness to all the federations and the possibility of moving it around in different continents.
Right, and you've seen the facilities now, so you're happy with that?
Yeah, facilities are good. Do you know what I mean? In terms of that, we tend to go for stadiums, but you have to remember, you've got to look at the cost in terms of building, especially within Africa. We know the issues around the funding. The fact is that we're not a recognised sport, so it makes it difficult for the national federations to knock on the door of sports minister and National Olympic Committee. So we've got to get them engaged to understand what the sport's about, especially with the perception of the sport over the last 30 years. A lot of people have just been focusing on the professional side and not the amateur side. And our job is to change them, to make them understand the process and how safe the sport is, in terms of the regulation around the sport and what we do in order to make sure that the athletes are safe and that there is the medical data that supports that. And then we give the recommendations to the national federations, and their job is to knock on the door of the sports minister and the National Olympic Committee and say, hey, it's a new sport, you have to make it safe, you have to give the certification to the federations to police the sport. And that's what we want, to ensure that the safety of the sport doesn't get misled, and that we have the right people, the right partners on the ground looking after the sport.
If I may ask, what is MF's biggest concern or not concern, viewpoint for a country to be able to host a World Championship? What is the criteria? Yeah, the criteria is.
Yeah, I mean, we have a checklist, in terms of venue, equipment, where the hospital is, hotels, in terms of making sure that registration and so forth, transportation, security. All of those are concerns that we have, and we have to go through with the National Federation to make sure that they, can fulfil those requirements. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of a conversation that we have, especially for this one with Carlos. We go through a checklist, we've got a checklist, then we strap around a team that will come in, an events team that will check internet, all sorts of other things, screens, production, because obviously some of it might go out live. We go to the national TVs and so forth, and we have a wider reach in that. We're sponsored by UFC, so we potentially have up to 1 billion people that can actually have access to the to the content.
That's right, yes. The African champs, where are you going to host that? The MMA in Namibia, here locally in Windhoek?
Yes, we're hosting it in this venue, yeah.
In this venue?
In this venue, yes,
okay.
We're hosting it, yeah. We're obviously putting a few structures together. We put everything together, but it's going to be hosted in this venue. So obviously, obviously there's the categories. We're going to fall into the different divisions and things, and obviously times that the fighters come in and all that kind of story. So that gives us enough space, and the venue gives us enough space for everybody. Yeah. So there won't be one crowd at like the previous venue. Cause we'll be here for almost 5 days. 4 or 5 days. The event is going to be in 4 or 5 days. So I think most of the public or the fans will be coming more into the semi-finals, finals.
Yeah.
So the last days, like Friday, Saturdays type of story. Yeah. So, but during the week, it will be a small crowd type of story. Maximum 50, 100 people. Yeah. But on the weekend, obviously, we're going to push it up like we did at AFL. It'll probably be easily. I remember AFL we did 400 people.
Yeah. How many countries do you expect at the African Champs?
Well, we would love to have all 20 of them.
20.
But obviously the logistics, transporting the athletes from all over Africa is going to be obviously cost effective. So we're looking at that. So as we get closer to the event, we will find out who's coming and who's not coming. Okay. So we pretty much, I would say about 6 to 8 weeks out, we'll have definite answers and all that kind of story prior to the event. But yeah, we're trying to push for the 20 countries. I mean, Zimbabwe will probably be the first time I've actually seen somebody out in quite a while. They haven't sent somebody out. I've already spoken to the president of Zimbabwe, MMA there. He's sending six athletes out. Zambia is also definitely going to send some athletes. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it last year, but they definitely, because it's on the border, it's cost effective for them. South Africa also. South Africa is definitely on board. Angola is already. I'm speaking just they're on board. They're looking at trying to push as many as they can. I mean, I spoke to Scotty. They said like they're trying to send about 40 athletes down. That's just Angola. So yeah, it's there. That's the nice thing about Namibia is that we've got all these neighbours next to each other. But obviously all the other ones have to fly in and all that. Congo also can travel also. So it's not as Congo.
Cameroon probably. Nigeria will be here.
Nigeria will definitely
Mauritius
be here.
will be here.
Mauritius definitely will be here. So now, but obviously they have to fly in and all that kind of story.
Yeah.
Egypt is also looking on board. They're quite happy to come down. So yeah, there's a few countries that responded to us already, and they say yes, we're on board. We're certainly sending a team. Obviously, they haven't given us the numbers because obviously they go through trials and got to do all the things first, and then obviously then they'll revert back to us. But prior, I say 8 to 10 weeks prior to the event, we'll have more definite answers. Obviously, we will stay in communication with you, gentlemen and ladies, regarding the progress of the event.
Hier is een kaaskop, daar is leeuwkop en hier die kaaskop komt Namibië toe. En ik zie er zo uit. 1 maart speel ik in Windhoek, 2 maart in Swakopmund. Windhoek is deel van die woordfeest. Ik is een man van taal, van eigen taal, mijn Maastaal, die Nederlands. Het Afrikaans leer kennen, ik is mal van die taal en ik is mal van zing. En ik is mal van Namibië. Ik heb een paar liedjes daar geschreven, waaronder in Koolmanskop, wat ik graag een keer daar wil komen spelen. Ik is daar, 1 en 2 maart, Stefbos in Namibië.
Nada, what are we doing for the weekend?
Sleeping!
Sleeping and reading. Somebody promised me a book and she came through today with a book. Nice. So I will be reading that book. But for you guys out there that want to, get out, be in the streets, let's take a look at what's happening on the entertainment scene.
It's the weekend and it's time to chill. On Friday at 6, Emoji, an exhibition by Tilset Bayern, opens at the Project Room and can be viewed until the 9th of March. At 7 p.m, South African comedian Kevin Fraser presents his latest production, Africa is a Feeling, in the National Theatre. Tickets cost $350 and are available via kevinfraserofficial.com. On Saturday morning at 8, the Botanic Society, under the guidance of Bob Curtis, hosts a guided walk through Visit Botanic Gardens until 11. As from 11, Geraas op die Plaas presents Year of the Dragon at the Wolf Shack in Windhoek, with resident Keras DJs and other guests. At 6 p.m. there's a ladies' night in support of House Marua at the Arabush Travel Lodge, hosted by Natasha van der Merwe, who plays Susan in Saint Ooster. If you haven't seen it yet, Fleeting Moments, an exhibition by South Africa's Lisa Meyer, can be viewed at the Fine Art Gallery in Stokopmund until the 16th, and the Franco-Namibian Cultural Centre hosts an online French film festival via myfrenchfilmfestival.com until the 19th. Enjoy!
Well, lovelies, we've come to the end of yet another exciting episode of Smell the Coffee. So much that you can do this weekend, and I think we will definitely be attending Kevin Fraser's show.
I'm thinking so too. I was going to stay in, but I'm a fan of him, so I definitely I'm looking forward to that.
I've seen him on TikTok and on Instagram.
He's very funny. He's hilarious. I would also urge you guys to go watch him. I mean, it can help with a lot of things. It's funny. Like, you will forget your problems.
Exactly. But that does bring us to the end of today's episode, and we do hope you have yourselves a lovely, amazing, fantastic, fun-filled weekend. From Diana Master and Glenora Shapura, we'll be catching you again on Monday.